definitely Marcin had chance previously to being asked about network automation many times, so he has a couple of questions that we were getting from clients about this topic. But feel free here to ask anything you might need from your perspective. And that's all from me, from my side. If any troubles with the webinar, technical things, also let me know. And Marcin, your time now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Magda, for the introduction. So my name is Marcin Kaźmierczak, and here at Psychop, we are constantly improving our products. And for today, we have a very important subject for you, and it's network automation. So our subject for the presentation is Smarter Network Starts Here. So let me show you what exactly we can provide for you in terms of automation. I hope you can see my screen. Magda, can you confirm that everything is working? Yep. Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with some basics. Why network automation matters. So here are some numbers which I hope will provide you with like a review of all of the important things that are relevant to automation. So for example, most network outages are actually caused by human error, so that's quite important factor here. And due to those human errors, you have additional network downtime, and that network downtime costs money. So that's how we can calculate this figure. And if you would consider more advanced automation for your company, there is also additional cost reduction factor. So this is also something to consider in your planning. And also in terms of security, we have more potential breaches due to the human element. So if you have a system and automation that can handle those things, then you are able to benefit from that from the from those points. Yeah. So as for the challenges of traditional network operations, so let's say you are doing more manual work. You have to discover everything manually. You have to add new elements to the system. So let's say you have a manual configuration troubleshooting. That means that you basically have need to allocate more time of your employees to find any potential issues and to deploy any changes in the network devices, for example, or other systems that require some kind of modification. So in ideal scenario, those kind of changes would be done automatically, if possible, of course. And for the limited visibility across hybrid networks. And what I mean by this is discovery, inventory, all of those things in traditional network operations are done manually. So even if you have, like, let's say, an active monitoring system, this still requires you to update your network discovery manually. So, for example, to add additional subnets, to add additional IP ranges, to verify if all of the applications were discovered correctly. So those are the things that the automation could do for you. And for slow response to anomalies and threats, so that's also highly connected to automation, of course. So if you have, let's say, an alerting system that can provide you an action, automatic action without user interference, without user actions, then you can simply respond more quickly to those issues. So anomalies would be, for example, trends, baselines, if a system can actually learn from your network traffic and act accordingly. And as for threats, we are talking, of course, about security. So from our perspective, we have divided our portfolio into like three main features. Those are not our modules. I will talk about them in a second, but those are our features which are correlated to our modules. So for example, for network operation center teams, what we can offer you are the features for network traffic analysis and network performance monitor. And for both, we are doing some very interesting things based on passive flow analysis. So here you can see that we can calculate intelligent trends and baselines. So we can actually take into factor such things like weekends, holidays, maintenance windows. You can, of course, override them and put your own, but the system learns how the network behaves. We have like up, down baselines. We have like a very nice ribbon that is directly attached to your current traffic. So you can see if there are peaks or lows that are outside of the ribbon of the trends. And we are doing all of that with passive flow analysis. So this is very different but very interesting approach for us because we are not dependent on any kind of firewall rules, or we are not generating additional traffic like ICMP, SNMP. What we are doing is we are taking the benefit from flows that are sent to us from routers, physical hardware routers, as well as like virtual switches from virtualization platform and so on. So thanks to that, for the NPM, you don't actually need to create an inventory. We are doing that for you. So any client IPs, server IPs, applications, ports, subnets, we are generating that on the fly. And of course, you can add your own to see if they are if it's a cross-reference with the current traffic, or you can add additional columns, fields, and so on. We will talk about that in a second. And we have application discovery. So any kind of application that is cross-referenced with the built-in templates, that will be available as well. If you have some custom applications with custom ports, then what will happen is that you will see the traffic on the port level. But if you want to see traffic on the application level, then you would need to add that information. However, you can still see that on the port level, so it's still visible for you. And thanks to the passive flow monitoring, we actually don't need any credentials. So we don't need to log into the system to production servers, for example, right? So if we want to monitor, let's say, Microsoft Exchange or Apache or Microsoft SQL, then we are doing that from flows, and additional credentials are not needed. We also have in portfolio a package analyzer, our own probes, which you can distribute across your network. So that's also an option if you want some additional insights to how the application is working, maybe some response time on the application level and not maybe not on the network level. So that's also possible. And from security operations center teams, what we can offer is an NDR, network detection and response. And what we are doing is we are providing very nice, very robust, around 70 more rules and alerts built into the product out of the box. You can, of course, edit them, you can clone them, you can do whatever you need to align with your internal policies. And we have also cyber threat intelligence online repository. And this repository is being updated daily, and it can synchronize with your local Psycop instance, which I forgot to mention that it is on premise. And it is being updated a few times per day. But if you have like a remote location, completely isolated, you can do that offline. So that's also an option for you. So all of those rules benefit from the CTI database. And the database consists of our own research, as well as few of our other partners like IronVault and others. And as for the deployment itself, it's actually ready in 24 hours. So that's also something quite unique for this kind of product. And we are achieving that using virtual appliance. So what we are doing is we are providing you with OVA template that you can deploy automatically on your virtualization platform. So the deployment itself actually lasts around few minutes. However, you need to account for the deployment time. You need to account the time for modifying your router's configuration a little bit to redirect to the NetFlow data. So that's why we said 24 hours. But the system itself is ready in a few minutes. So that's nice. And what we are presenting here is we have achieved something that we call a single pane of glass, one source of truth, and that we in SciCoP, we believe that our product is like a first point of contact for you. So you can, in case of any issues, network issues, security issues, you can use SciCoP as a main point of investigation. Because we, apart from, of course, all of the information from us, we can integrate with other products and provide you that information locally in SciCoP. So you will see that in a moment. And we have 5 times more optimized server when comparing to other products in the market. So we can provide up to 250,000 flows per one server. And other products have around 20K, I'm sorry, 50K, around 50K, so 5 times less. And if that's not enough, if you need more, we can support multi-tenancy. So multiple SciCoP servers that can talk to each other. We have a dedicated suite management software that can actually join them together if that's what you need. And for the security aspect, we have 95% Mitra attack coverage, and that's like an open framework of all of the libraries, for security issues, attacks, and everything. So it's quite nice because all of the rules that are built in are actually correlated with specific IDs of the Mitra attack. So you can actually cross-reference our own alerts with the open library on the internet for the Mitra attack. And we do support very long data retention. So that's quite flexible because for data retention, we are using virtualization. And if you need more, you can just expand your hard drive on the virtual machine level, and you don't need to restart the server even. It's being resized on the fly on our software level. So that's very nice. Okay, so actions and integrations. So we are seeing something that can happen, what we can do in terms of resolving that. So let's start with automatic device and application discovery. Like I said, we are doing that automatically. So here you can see an example of a particular asset, when it was last seen, what kind of services it's running, what kind of connections are to the server, and what kind of connections are from the server. And you can correlate with that information. We have like a drill down options for each and every field here. So you can just click and choose to go deeper, like a deep dive analysis. That's also an option. So we can automatically map applications port, incoming, outgoing connections. That's all done automatically. And you can assign, like, for example, tags, description to the asset or any additional field that you need. And this is also the way how we are providing availability and status for the application itself. So is your SQL Server running or not? So that's how we are doing that. So for auto population, so we understand that in order to have an automatic inventory, the best way would be to also have automatic fields. So we are providing customers with tags, macros, mappers, lookups, metrics, ranges, collectors. I won't go into details for each and every of those options, but you can reach out to us and we can provide you with a more detailed description of all of those, or maybe a presentation. But what's important for you to understand is that you can create those fields automatically. So you can use macros, or you can use, for example, collectors if you have a desire to have some part of statistics to be saved independently on a specific place in the database. So for example, here I'm storing like top 1000 of IPs or watch devices, which are or rogue devices, which are outside of allow list. And that data also have timestamps, so you can actually create all your own widgets, your own charts, timelines, depending what you need. So that's quite nice. So you can actually do some additional dependencies within the inventory data, all within the statistics data. And everything can provide you with, everything has support for bidirectional API synchronization. So you can actually gather all of that information from us, or we can gather that from other systems like CMDB. And for alerting, what we have done, which is also quite, I think, unique for us, is that we allow users to have multiple actions per alert. Actually, there is no limitation. You can have as many actions as you like. And each action can have its own threshold level. So you can have different behavior for different scenarios within one alert. So that's also very useful feature. And when you are configuring the alert, you have the ability to simulate and check what thresholds would potentially trigger the alert. So here you can see that I have one threshold, like warning, which is count sessions more or equal 1, or the warning threshold, count sessions more or equal 100. And for this, I can see which kind of assets would trigger my alert. It can, of course, be any other statistic parameters. This is just an example, but you can check how the alert would behave before executing it. And we support such actions as syslog, trap messages, sending emails, and of course, the most important one for us for today, REST API with built-in or custom payload with multiple placeholders. So you can have dynamic values directly injected into the body of HTTPS post or GET if that's what you need. So we will talk about this more in following slides. So what is automation without integration? I mean, we need to have integrations. And what we decided to do is we have created our own open source GitHub repository for anything outside of the built-in features. So everything that we'll talk about is about the automation here today will not require scripting. Everything will be done on the GUI level. And if you need to have an integration with third-party software, you can download a template from our GitHub repository and simply run it. There is some, of course, configuration parameters, like what is the IP address of the external system and credentials. But other than that, it is just download and run. So you can see here we have some of the examples that we already working on, or the template is already available on the GitHub. So those systems are already supported with our platform. We can, of course, support more if customers need to do that. So, for example, for communications, we have Slack, Discord, Microsoft Teams. For security, we have Suricata, Elasticsearch, Splunk, so multiple CM or other software related to security. We also acknowledge that our customers are using multiple monitoring solutions. Most of the time, it's more than one. So we have decided also to support other active monitoring solutions. So if a user would like to benefit from both worlds, like we are a passive monitoring solution, but the user wants to have an active as well. So we have provided ability to integrate both. So we have Zabbix, Nagios, and SolarWinds. Of course, we can support more. Those are just the templates that are already available. And for CMDB ticketing systems and so on, we have CMD Build, Jira, but we can, of course, support more. That's not an issue. And few other examples for the automation. This is quite nice, actually. So we have provided. This is quite new. this is quite new information for our clients. So we have actually included support for Microsoft Power Automate. I'm not sure if all of you are aware of this feature, but it is like a common feature for Office 365. And this is something that is included even in the lowest tier of the Office package. So if you have Office 365, then you have that. So that's important factor to know. But you also, of course, need to have appropriate permission on the Office level. And what that allows you to do is to create a webhook for which SolarWinds can provide alerts to. And you can parse JSON, initiate variable. And here is an example when HTTP is sending a request to Jira, and it is asking what kind of tickets are currently opened. And the condition is checking if there is an active ticket for this particular issue already, then just create a comment on the ticket, on the incident. But if it's not, if there are no active tickets, then post a new card, a new comment on the Microsoft Teams level, and create new ticket, new incident in Jira. And for those, this is a quite nice example, because you can see here we have multiple colors, and the color is based on the severity level. So it will change if it's green, yellow, or red, depending on your preference. Some basic information about the alerts. And you can have multiple buttons on your communicator. So, for example, View in SciCoP would simply redirect you to the dashboard, but you can also click Acknowledge if you want to acknowledge the alert, or you can create a ticket, depending on what's your ticketing system. And this is all done on the Microsoft Power Automate level. So we are just providing the information about alerts. So that's very, very nice feature to have. And apart from Jira, you can also have other automation actions like custom REST APIs. You can notify CM or other software. You can actually change NACL rules and block traffic. I have a dedicated example for that, so I will show you that in a second. Or you can, for example, check CMDB database, and you can change the allow list for the rogue devices inside SciCoP. Why not? So, for example, if there is a new alert for rogue device, unknown device, not from your company, but from other, maybe some guest or someone actually connected to Wi-Fi, that should be only restricted to the company. We can actually check using the Automate. We can check if maybe perhaps it's actually a company device, but the allow list in SciCoP is simply not updated. Then it can automatically be updated, and the alert would simply be cancelled and acknowledged as false positive. Okay, so what we have next is an example of communication between Slack and SciCoP. So here we also have some alert, in here visibility alert for the client TCP flag, and it's an example with a button view in SciCoP. When we click on this, we can actually redirect to a dashboard for alerting, and all of the filtration will be already applied, and you can actually see your alerts, and you can interact with the specific alert that you clicked on. So that's very nice. You don't need to look around which kind of alert it is. It's right there. And you can, of course, interact on the communicator level and add comments, add threads, and so on. Another example, this is quite nice example. It will show you that, for example, let's say you have security alerts, right? You have horizontal scanning or some suspicious IPs, suspicious hosts. You can right-click on those and send externally. and you can block IP address, or you can block network port. I will show you in a second how it looks, but basically you can have that done manually, or you can add this action into automatic alerting definition, and then you don't need to do that manually. The system will do that for you. Yeah, so this is another example in here, SSH brute force, and you can block that as well from other parts of the system. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can right click and you have a drill down options. So that's like an example use case where you don't actually have an alert because maybe you did not configure it or maybe it's disabled because of some reasons. Then you can actually use the automation, automatic actions. You can trigger them directly from the dashboard. You don't need to have an alert, to be honest. So that's also nice. And like I mentioned, you can, for example, block IP address. And this is an example with Cisco IOS XE system, which can handle custom payload body of HTTPS post. And the param is one of the placeholders, which I mentioned. And this would be populated with the IP address that you clicked on, or the IP address that would be a part of the active alert. So thanks to that, you can modify access lists, knuckle rules, or you can, do, to be honest, anything you need to do according to the system you are sending this request to. Another example, so this is the integration with Zabbix, and why I'm talking about integrations and statistics from other systems. So you can actually create alerts based on multiple sources. So you can have an alert that will check both passive and active statistics. So statistics from flows, from package analyzer, from ICMP, from SNMP, WMI, whatever you need. It can be Linux, it can be Windows Server, it can be network device, depending on what is happening. And you can actually correlate those information. And everything you can see here is actually stored within our own proprietary database. It is not like a iframe or just a view of something that is somewhere else. No. This is our own data in our database. So we are synchronizing that on 1 minute intervals. It's very quick, I can assure you. We have tested quite intensively, and you can create alerts from those multiple sources. So that's also quite nice in terms of automation, because you can include multiple values, variables, depending what you want to achieve. Another integration, this time for security. So we have our own template. This is also from the GitHub, and you can have an integration with Suricata. So if you have any kind of anomalies or security alerts, you can correlate those with that third-party software, and you can correlate our own security rules with Suricata. So maybe if you see something is happening on both, it is more critical for you, and you want to take some different actions, which is also supported. Okay, so what I have for you now to present is our own live demo. However, due to the some network dependencies, if you don't mind, I prefer to show you a recording of our live demo. But rest assure you, it's 100% speed. It's a normal speed. It is not sped up. So anything that I will do now within the recording, this is how our system is working. So you can actually see how fast our dashboards are being loaded. So on the left, we have our menu, configuration, widget, rules, shortcuts. We can click on one of the dashboards. Here, there are trends. You can see that I can use our built-in filtration. So like IP address, subnet, country, network function, and I can interact with any chart. Like, for example, here I'm adding baselines and trends. And maybe I will just pause it for a second. Here you can see we have our up and down baseline. This is the ribbon that I mentioned about. And you can see how the current traffic is behaving with comparing it to to our trends. And you can create, of course, an alert if it's if the behavior is if the difference within the ribbon and our current statistics are maybe too much. So yeah, that's also an option. So every widget can be full size if you want to, to analyze it better. And when we check ports, this is what I mentioned. You don't need to have application defined to look at network ports and all of the network traffic for those. And as you can see now, I have clicked on one of the IP addresses, and it is already within the new filtration. So you can filter any kind of dashboard you need. And here you can see top clients from the drill down option. So you can interact with all, to be honest, with any kind of widget. So that's nice. And we can have like a pop-up window, which can also be maximized. Okay, let's check the security module. So here it is, there are a few different widgets for top 10, top 5, as well as some grouping for meter techniques. And here you can see threats analysis with some nice dependency map. And this is a map between dependency for client IP, server IP, and alert name. But you can have other dependencies depending on your requirements. And as you can see here, I can filter using an alert name or a meter technique. This is a bit different. This is a dependency between meter technique, alert name, and IPs. So to be honest, the same information, but just differently presented. So depending what is a bit better for you for the investigation, you can check the dashboard that you desire. And everything that you can see here can be used as a data source for creating new alerts, new actions. So I wanted to show you how the system looks like, what it can do, and how you can use that information from the alerting perspective. Yeah, so now we have asset discovery module, and this is the automatic inventory which I mentioned. So we have dedicated traffic rule profiles, which are basically like policies. So you can have like a validation of policies. So for example, here I have unmatched traffic, and I can check SSH for top client IPs that shouldn't have visible SSH traffic. So yeah, I can see here, I can block the IP address. I can also check its reputation on some of the security platforms like Alien Vault directly from our GUI. So that's also nice. Or I can add this IP address to my policy. So that's also an option. Okay, so let's quickly check at the end how dashboards for probes and package analysis look like. So here you can see NDPI categories, severities, applications. So this one is a bit different because we are generating that from the package analyzer. So you can use a span mirror port of physical network switch, or you can use, like I said, virtualization distributed switch from VMware, for example. We also support Proxmox or others, so that's also an option for you. Yeah, also dependencies, like I said, but this is for between different parameters. So here we have applications that were discovered using the package analyzer. And we support different application protocols. So for example, here we have HTTP, and we support return calls, user agents, methods. So here, for example, I'm checking drill down for HTTP methods like get, post, and so on. And I can check what kind of websites. Maybe I will pause just for a second. You can see here we have NASC PL or Outlook.com, Psychop.com, and we can see how different countries are using our website. So this can be used for both for internal and external web applications. Here you can see we have the probe performance widgets, and those are especially nice because here you can see we have server and application and client response time. We also have something that is called initial server response time. And now you can see here what is the time for the initial response from the server. So depending on the application, the initial response can be much higher than the average response. And that might be important for you. If, for example, you need to adjust some buffering or some other application related parameters. So we are using network data, network statistics to also check how the application is working. So if you see some issues on the, for example, for the application response time, then you would start your investigation on the application level and not on the hardware level. So you can just take a look at one dashboard to understand what would be your initial response to the issue. Okay, so I think that's everything from our slides. So I hope it was very interesting for you. So we have provided a few additional things, a few additional points to the automation factor in our product. However, we will constantly develop our GitHub repository. There will be more templates. So please take a look and let us know if you are interested in learning more. We can schedule a new session, maybe a proof of concept, or other use cases. So please let us know if you would like us to help you. So let us check if there are some questions.
Thank you, Marcin, for this introduction. And network automation, you focus more on how we do it, like through SciCop solution. From your perspective, personally, like I know your background, you are very familiar with many other solutions. Why network automation is becoming critical in modern IT infrastructures nowadays?
Yeah,
you can share your opinion.
Yeah, of course. So I'm seeing that in a few perspectives. So for example, we are using multiple systems. Those can be monitoring systems, security, database systems, CMDB, ticketing systems. So automation will allow you to combine all of that and have more time for crucial investigation. So we don't want all of those solutions to slow you down. So the integration is very important for that. And for the resolution itself, the automation will allow you to do that much faster. So we are talking about multiple dependencies between different systems, production systems, applications. So automation will allow you to have much quicker resolution for your issues.
Mm-hmm. But is it something dedicated more for like large enterprises, or small IT teams also can benefit from that?
I would say both. I mean, if you have, the more you need to support, the more work you have, to be honest. But if you have a smaller environment, it is also beneficial because you can, for example, I would assume that you have, less people on the staff for IT support if you have a smaller company. So you are scaling your teams according to the workflow. However, sometimes people can be unavailable. They can be on the meetings, or they can simply be outside of working business hours, and maybe you want to have like a quick reaction to a problem during the night. Maybe someone is not on, you don't maybe have on call employees, or you simply want to have the solution to provide you the automation to provide you a solution during the night hours, and once the employee would return to work during the morning hours, he can check if the automation provided the correct solution and simply do a validation instead of trying to resolve it on the fly during the morning hours where other employees are waiting for it as well to be available. So it all depends, of course, but I would say that both worlds would benefit from that.
So you would see that in the future, looking at the future, we use on our daily work many tools, like sometimes it's kind of overwhelming. But
Yeah.
where this will go in like 2-3 years, network automation terms, it will be
Mhm.
the tools we know and we use daily basis in as a network administrator, SOC teams, NOC teams.
Yeah.
They will be cooperating between each other, and that they will be allowing us to do that automation. Sometimes people are kind of struggling
Mhm.
with the deciding to let go the decision to the side of the automation. They want to have control over the decision. Where do you see the future, if you can say a word on that?
Yeah. What I believe would be, a good roadmap for us. Like I said, we have custom templates that are already available for specific applications. So, the future would be. It would be amazing if those could be done automatically. So it wouldn't matter what kind of solution you have. That the software would do the automation and integration for you. That would be something amazing, which we can
Mm-hmm.
also explore. However, for now, we are providing you with templates, which are very nice, and yeah, you can use them just in a few minutes to deploy. So no worries there. But yeah, it would be great if those solutions could simply talk to each other automatically without additional deployments. So this is something especially that we can explore to do in the future.
Okay, thank you so much. And two short questions from the chat. What about the other integrations like Salesforce? For example, Salesforce. I don't
Yeah.
know if you mentioned Salesforce.
No. I focus on Jira, to be honest, on Jira, but you can actually integrate with any ticketing system that you have. What you can do in terms of automation also depends on the other system that you are integrating with Psycho. But for us, we don't have any limitations. You saw on our live demo, you saw how our dashboards and widgets looks like, and we have took a different approach in terms of the API. So anything that you can see on the web interface are actually API requests to our system. So most of the other software on the market, they are separating themselves from the GUI level and API level. So you need to wait for some features to be added to the API, some functions maybe. And for us, we don't have any limitation. Anything you can do on the GUI level, you can do on the API level. So if a third-party ticketing system like Salesforce would like some additional information from us, we are ready. So any automation that you need to do with ticketing systems, we will not limit you in terms of that.
Okay. And one more about can we include some logical conditions within the alert in SciCop?
Yes, I have not done like a deep dive of alerting, to be honest, because we have limited time today. However, you can of course contact us and we can schedule a dedicated session for it. So the alert definition have built-in query system where you can actually use an if-else statement, case statement, switch statement. You can use different functions. You can also use mathematical equations to convert something. So yeah, definitely it's fully supported, and you can switch between basic alerting configuration and advanced. So by default, it's basic, but it's just a simple switch on the GUI level to go to the more advanced option to have visible. So yeah, definitely.
Super. I think we will be wrapping up for today. Thank you for the session and for the questions, and thank you, Marcin, for going with me more like spontaneously conversation.
Yeah,
We should be doing that more often.
I
And
agree.
we invite you
Yeah.
for next webinar. It will be definitely in October. we are planning to run sessions like that once per month. And in October, as cybersecurity month, it will be around cybersecurity. More details coming soon. I will be sharing the recording after all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marcin, for leading the session.
Thank you.